The Truth Girls.
Hi everyone, Sonia here. I'm stopping in to tell you what I think about the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing. First of all, I think he is dead. I know there were these pictures that came out after he died where they said, oh, like, look, the ear doesn't look like the ear and the nose looks different. Personally, on close inspection, considering the way the lighting's a bit different, I do think the ear looks the same. I know some of you won't agree, but I really think it does because it has this little thing that comes down. It's pretty specific, like, looking characteristic. Anyway, I think that the ear is the same. And I think that the nose, one picture he's older, one picture he's younger. Also, he's dead. So, maybe your face changes a bit. When you die, I've seen other people's post-mortem pictures and they do look different. So, like, that could account for why the nose looks slightly different. Okay, but there's another reason why I do think he's really dead. Okay, Jeffrey Epstein was doing this stuff for years and he was just getting away with it. The reason they say why, his charges didn't stick before or whatever had to do with him being an informant. But usually being an informant doesn't give you license to do really serious, like, major crimes with impunity. So that can explain why, like, nothing would ever stick. So I think not only was he an informant, which that is so weird. You don't let somebody, like, engage in human trafficking while being an informant. Usually informants are people who are just on the periphery of whatever the criminal organization is, or they play some kind of minor role, not like the major players. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's like saying, Pablo Escobar is an informant, so we let him traffic cocaine. Or like, we hired El Chapo as an informant, so we let him run the criminal network because he gives us information. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So, I think basically he was really connected. I know Google has scrubbed all the pictures of him with the Clintons and stuff, but it's a known fact. It's still reported even in the papers today that Bill Clinton had been on the Lolita Express to Little St. James, Epstein's private island. I think Hillary had been there too. And, what was Clinton doing there? It'd be hard to believe that he just went there to hang out under the palm trees and have some wholesome fun in the sun. That's like, trying to tell somebody that you went to Pablo Escobar's ranch for horseback riding. So probably he knew what was going on. Maybe it was even involved. We don't know. But in any case, we do know that Epstein was very connected. And there have been other cases in the past. God, YouTube's going to hate this. They already hate me though anyway, so whatever. I might as well just say it. There have been cases in the past where it came out when there were pedophile rings and networks that there were connections to people in high places. Not only in America, but also in Europe. This has come out several times. There'll be like a trafficking organization involving also children and young people. And it turns out that there's very important, people with high positions in society connected to this organization or this ring. So what it looks like to me was that he was highly connected and he was protected. And what happens though, what I've noticed, having observed things for many years, is that occasionally someone will have to go down. Even if you're a person you're not exactly an elite yourself, but you have connections and you're connected to people in high positions and you're doing something illegal, whatever it is, drugs or trafficking or something else, and at some point it comes out what you're doing. Maybe you've been arrested a few times, but this keeps going for a while. Like, they'll get you off, but at some point you'll have to go down, or someone will have to go down. And that's kind of to satisfy the public that something's being done. Like, once everybody knows what he's doing and then knows what the connections are, then it gets really dangerous. It's a lot of heat on everyone involved. And we don't know what else was going on. They might have had a very good reason for why he needs to go down. Or, because I do believe the system is rigged, and if they really don't want someone to go down, he won't go down. But I think at some point it came time for Jeffrey Epstein to go down. And so that's why he went to jail. Probably. I mean, it might have been just that he just got arrested and whatever, or they couldn't protect him anymore. They couldn't keep him out of the system anymore. But at some point, he went to jail. Once he goes to jail, though, and there's a court case coming up, then there's a risk that he is going to spill the beans on a lot of other people who are, well-connected and rich and powerful. Like, what was her name? Heidi Fleiss. Remember when Heidi Fleiss got arrested and like it started to come out who some of her clients were? You know, it's really scandalous. Well, I think it's a similar thing. So once he's arrested, and he had this like little black book or like this agenda, although I'd seen the PDF of it. It was, you know, electronic file or whatever of his contacts. So obviously he had a lot of connections, a lot of contact. He had it on paper. There's a huge paper trail. There's tons of stuff that can come out. So personally, I believe he's dead, but I think he was probably murdered. I mean, he could have decided to kill himself because he knew it's whatever is coming, it's going to be like so horrible that he won't be able to deal with it. Not just being in jail, but probably some other stuff. I don't know. It's possible. But there was something suspicious about when it happened. I mean, he was under watch. I don't want to go into like the whole details of it, but he was under watch. It was supposed to be, you know, he's not supposed to be able to kill himself. There's nothing to kill himself with. Somehow he manages to kill himself with, I don't know what. Turns out he's got broken bones in his neck, including the hyoid bone in the front, which it can happen when you hang yourself, but it can also happen when you've been strangled. And look, I don't have proof, but my hunch is that he was killed because it's just safer for everybody. And coincidentally, also the judge who was supposed to preside over his case also died. Coincidence. What I think, so this is what I think, I wanted to let you know. Personally, I really believe he's dead. I think he's probably murdered. And I think this stuff about he wasn't dead, he was smuggled out, it's just complete BS. Because I don't think that when you're connected, like let's say it's like a mafia, you know, you're connected in the mafia, there is some loyalty and protection, but when you've exceeded your usefulness and you become a liability, they're not going to protect you. There's not that kind of loyalty. It's not the Boy Scouts. They will turn against you. Once you become a liability, I mean, haven't you ever watched The Sopranos? You know, when people become a liability, they find a way to get rid of them. So that's what I think happened. I don't think there's any reason why his connections would want to smuggle him out and protect him and send him off somewhere to live, you know, anonymously. I think there'd be much more in it for them if he was dead. So I'm absolutely convinced that he is dead. So that's it. I just want to let you know what I think of this. Let me know what you think. Thanks for your support on Patreon. And thanks for listening to me. And I'll see you next time.